love that channel.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I think what we should try to uncover here are those little secrets babies use to learn languages that most of us as adults, we just completely miss.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have some serious aha moments in this deep dive.
I agree. And you know what I think is so fascinating about this?
What's that?
Is that we tend to overcomplicate language learning as adults.
Yeah, we do.
Right? And babies, on the other hand, they're just so efficient.
Like,
They just dive in, they soak it all up through constant exposure,
yeah.
repetition. It's pretty amazing.
It is. The video points out how we get so stuck in those grammar rule books.
Oh, don't remind me.
Right from the start.
Yeah.
Babies don't even know what a grammar rule is. They just listen, they absorb, and somehow it all clicks.
Exactly.
It's like they're saying, just relax, let it wash over you.
Let it flow.
And trust the process.
I love that analogy. Instead of getting bogged down in rules,
Yeah.
babies just focus on actually using the language.
Yeah.
You know, putting it into practice.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, moving away from that rigid rule-based approach
Yeah,
to a more intuitive and immersive one.
for sure. The video also talks about how important mimicking and repetition are.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like babies do.
Yeah.
They suggest pausing videos and repeating phrases.
Oh, for sure.
Even recording yourself to compare your pronunciation.
Love that.
It's like building muscle memory for the language.
Yeah, and that whole concept of muscle memory is so crucial.
It is.
You know, think about it like learning to play a musical instrument
Okay.
or a sport. It's not enough to just understand the theory. You've got to actually train your muscles
Right.
to do those actions smoothly and automatically.
Yeah.
So in language learning, that means you're training your tongue, your lips,
Yeah.
your vocal cords to make those English sounds effortlessly.
So it's not just knowing the words, it's almost like feeling them in your mouth, like a physical skill.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the more those patterns become ingrained.
Right.
And you don't have to think about it consciously.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it becomes second nature.
The video even had a link to this free dictation website
Oh, cool.
for practice, which I thought was pretty neat.
Very cool.
They also talked about responding like a baby,
What do you mean?
using simple words and phrases
Got it.
to get your point across
Right.
without overthinking it.
Like just getting the words out.
Exactly, just communication over perfection.
For sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, that ties right into that idea of confidence in language learning.
Yeah.
The video suggests finding a sort of parent figure,
Okay.
you know, like a patient language partner or a tutor,
Okay.
someone who can guide you gently and correct you.
Okay.
And that can create a safe space to make mistakes.
Yeah, I like that because it's so important to have someone who really understands the learning process
Yeah.
and kind of meets you where you're at.
Yeah.
It can make such a difference in how comfortable you feel speaking.
It really can.
Did the video actually say how you would go about finding this parent figure?
It did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They suggested a couple of things,
Okay.
like a language exchange partner. You teach each other your languages.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Or a tutor who prioritizes conversation
Right.
and gentle correction over grammar drills.
Right. Finding a tutor that really aligns with your learning style
Exactly.
and goals is super important.
It is.
Did they have any other recommendations?
You know what they said their last episode had a whole section on how to find a language partner.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a link in the description.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so to recap, we've covered listening, immersion, mimicking, and repetition focusing on communication
Right.
over perfection and finding that supportive language partner.
Yes. What other baby-inspired gems did they dig up in the video?
Well, the last one was something we can all do no matter our level.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Narrate your day.
Narrate my day.
Yeah.
You mean like just talk to myself about what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Even if it's something simple like I'm making coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Babies hear their caregivers constantly narrating, like, look at the birdie,
Right.
or time for a nap.
Makes sense.
That constant stream of simple language helps them understand their surroundings
Right.
and soak up new words naturally.
So even if we're not around native speakers,
Yeah.
we can kind of create that immersive environment
Exact.
by narrating our own actions in English.
You got it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the best part is it takes no extra time or effort.
Right, because you're already doing these things anyway.
Right. You're already doing them, so why not just say them in English?
I'm brushing my teeth.
Exactly.
I'm walking to the store. I'm cooking dinner.
It's so simple.
It's true.
But so effective. Yeah, I can see how that would really help with remembering vocabulary and grammar without really thinking about it.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it does.
Having to like sit down and study.
And it just gets you thinking in English more and more naturally. Yeah. Which is what we're aiming for.
That's the key.
Okay, before we get to your notes, there was one thing in the video that I was curious about.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They said you only need about 2,000 words to understand 90% of daily conversations.
I'm surprised by that, too. I thought it'd be way more.
Me too.
Huh.
That's encouraging, though.
It is.
It's way less daunting than people think.
For sure, it shows you don't have to know every single word to communicate.
Exactly.
Wow.
Mastering those 2,000 words can take you really far in most situations.
That's a great point.
Of course, there are fields like medicine or law.
Right.
You need a much larger vocabulary.
Of course.
But for everyday stuff, 2,000 words can really open up the world.
It takes the pressure off for sure.
Especially for beginners. Yeah. Who might feel overwhelmed
Absolutely.
by how many words there are to learn.
Right.
Now, let's dive into those notes you put together.
Awesome.
What other insights did you find about mastering English?
Well, one key strategy that really builds on those baby tips is setting realistic goals.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's something the video touches on,
Yeah,
but I think we can explore it a bit more.
absolutely. What do you think a realistic goal looks like for someone learning English?
It's all about taking that big goal of fluency and breaking it down
Okay.
into smaller, more manageable steps.
Yeah.
Like maybe learning 10 new words each week
Okay.
or being able to have a basic conversation about your hobbies.
Right.
In English, the key is to set achievable targets that make you feel good
Right.
about your progress. And that keeps you motivated.
It's like those small wins
Yeah,
building on each other.
exactly.
Those stepping stones to fluency.
You got it. And remember, everyone's journey is going to look different.
Of course.
What's realistic for one person might be too easy or too challenging for someone else.
Makes sense.
It's all about finding that sweet spot that keeps you engaged
Yeah.
and moving forward.
Right. And keeps you excited about it.
Yeah.
I like that.
And, another important part of setting those realistic goals
Yeah.
is finding resources that really match your learning style
Oh, I love that.
and your interests.
It's about making it enjoyable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you give us some examples of how to personalize those resources?
Of course. So if you're a visual learner,
Okay.
flashcards or illustrated dictionaries could be great.
Yeah, this would be good.
If you learn best by listening podcasts or audiobooks, could be
Mhm.
more your style,
Yeah, I love podcasts.
right? And if you love music,
Oh, yeah.
why not learn through songs?
That's a great idea.
It's all about making it feel less like work and more like play.
I think something a lot of people struggle with
Yeah.
is the fear of making mistakes,
Oh, totally.
especially when speaking.
It's so common.
Yeah, me too. What advice would you give for getting over that fear?
Well, the first thing is to realize that mistakes are inevitable.
Yeah,
They're actually a sign that you're learning and pushing yourself.
it's true.
One helpful tip is to find that supportive language partner or tutor.
Like that parent figure.
Exactly. Someone who understands that mistakes are normal.
Yeah.
And part of the process,
It's so helpful.
having someone who gives you constructive feedback
Right.
and focuses on your progress, not perfection,
Yeah.
can make a huge difference.
Yeah, it can really boost your confidence.
And remember, even native English speakers make mistakes.
That's true.
Nobody's perfect.
That is reassuring to hear.
Yeah,
It's all about changing how we see mistakes
Right.
as chances to grow instead of setbacks.
absolutely.
What other insights did you get from your notes?
Well, your notes really emphasize consistency
Oh, yeah.
in language learning.
Yeah.
It's something we often overlook,
We do.
but it's really crucial for making progress.
Yeah, what does that look like in real life?
It doesn't have to be hours of studying every day.
Right.
Even just 15 minutes a day can make a big difference.
Okay, that seems manageable.
Yeah, it's about making it a habit. Something you do regularly.
Right, not just once in a while.
Exactly like building a muscle.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
And there's so many ways to fit practice into your day.
Oh, for sure.
Listen to a podcast while you commute.
Yeah.
Read an article during lunch.
Right.
Chat with a language partner before bed.
It's all about finding those little pockets of time.
I like that. And it connects back to that idea of setting realistic goals.
Absolutely.
If you set small goals and practice regularly, even in short bursts,
Yeah.
you're much more likely to see results and stay motivated.
You hit the nail on the head.
I did.
Consistency and realistic goals go hand in hand.
They do.
It's a positive feedback loop. You see results,
Right.
and that fuels your motivation.
It's a cycle.
You
Your
can-
notes also brought up the issue of demotivation,
Oh, yeah, that's a
Ah.
big one.
which I think everyone faces at some point.
It's normal. It's a normal part of any learning process,
It's true.
especially something as challenging as learning a language.
Right. What advice do you have for staying motivated during those slumps?
Well, one of the best things you can do is remind yourself why you're learning English.
Okay.
What are your goals? What do you hope to achieve?
It's about that bigger picture.
Yeah.
What will fluency allow you to do?
Exactly. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day
Yeah.
that we lose sight of the ultimate goal.
That's so true. And just picturing those benefits
Yeah.
can really re-energize you
You can.
and help you get through those tough spots.
And don't forget to celebrate those small wins.
Oh, yeah.
Did you learn a new phrase?
Yeah.
Were you able to order your coffee in English?
I love those moments.
Give yourself credit for those achievements.
It's about recognizing those milestones.
Right. And building momentum.
And sometimes you need to take a break.
Oh, absolutely.
It's okay to step back and recharge.
Language learning is a marathon.
Not a sprint.
Exactly. If you're feeling burned out,
Yeah.
take a break. You'll come back stronger.
It's like that saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Great.
What else did you see in my notes about this?
Well, you also talked about the power of community
Oh, yeah, I love that.
in language learning.
Yeah, finding people who are on the same path.
Right. Connecting with other learners can give you encouragement,
Yeah,
accountability, and a sense of belonging.
makes sense. What are the benefits of joining a community like that?
Well, you can share your experiences,
Right.
exchange tips, encourage each other.
Yeah.
It makes learning less scary and more fun.
Right. It doesn't feel so lonely.
Exactly. And it helps you stay motivated and accountable.
Yeah, because you know other people are counting on you.
Yeah, if you've got a language exchange planned,
Right.
you're more likely to show up.
It's about finding that sense of belonging,
It is.
that shared purpose.
Yeah, you're not alone on this journey.
And there are so many ways to connect with other learners.
Oh, for sure.
Online forums, language exchange platforms,
Social media groups.
local meetups, language cafes.
So many options.
It's awesome. And it's a reminder that language learning doesn't have to be this solitary thing.
It does sound.
It's a chance to connect with people
Yeah.
from all over the world.
Make new friends, expand your horizons.
I love that.
And when you have that support system,
Yeah,
you're more likely to stick with it, overcome challenges, and reach your goals.
I agree. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have
Those baby-inspired hacks, realistic goals, the right resources.
mistakes, consistency, demotivation.
Community. It's been quite a journey.
It has.
Well, what else did you find in your notes?
Well, your notes go into this fascinating idea of cultural immersion.
Ooh, that's interesting. Tell me more.
Language and culture are so intertwined.
They are.
To really master a language,
Yeah.
you need to understand the customs, the values,
Oh, right.
the perspectives of the people who speak it.
Okay.
It adds so much depth to your understanding.
But what if you can't travel to an English-speaking country?
Right. Well, there are tons of ways to experience the culture from afar.
Okay.
You can watch movies and TV shows,
Okay.
listen to music, read books and articles,
Right.
follow English-speaking social media accounts,
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
even try cooking some traditional dishes.
I love that it's like bringing the culture to you.
Exactly.
Creating little mini immersion experiences.
Yeah, these activities expose you to real language in its natural habitat.
It makes sense.
And that deeper understanding will not only make you appreciate the language more,
Right.
it'll make your learning journey more meaningful.
It's about going beyond just memorizing words and grammar.
Yes.
It's about understanding how the language is actually used.
Exactly.
What other insights did you find?
Well, your notes also mentioned a crucial element that's often overlooked,
Okay, what's that?
your mindset.
My mindset.
Yes, your mindset plays a huge role in your success.
Okay, how so?
It's about having a growth mindset,
A growth mind.
which means believing that you can improve
Okay.
through dedication and hard work.
So the opposite of a fixed mindset.
Exactly where you think your abilities are set in stone.
Right.
With a growth mindset, you're not afraid of challenges.
Yeah.
You see mistakes as opportunities to learn.
Okay.
You're more willing to step outside your comfort zone.
So it's about seeing language learning as this journey of constant improvement,
You got it.
not like a finish line you have to cross.
And by building that growth mindset,
Yeah.
you'll not only make language learning more enjoyable,
Right.
but you'll also learn valuable skills that will help you in all areas of life.
That's awesome. So how do you actually cultivate this growth mindset?
Well, one way is to focus on the process, not the outcome.
Okay.
Celebrate your little wins, acknowledge your progress, and find joy in the journey itself.
It's about loving the learning,
Exactly.
not just obsessing over being fluent.
Embrace the challenge.
Yeah.
Recognize that growth takes time
Yeah, it got
and effort.
It's like shifting the focus from am I fluent yet to what am I learning today?
Exactly.
How am I improving? What new things am I trying?
You got it, and surround yourself with positive influences.
Okay.
Supportive language partners, encouraging teachers,
Yeah.
inspiring resources.
It's about building that positive environment.
It is.
Don't compare yourself to others.
Right.
Focus on your own unique path.
I love that advice. It's never too late to start building that growth mindset,
It's true.
no matter your age or level.
You have the power to choose how you approach this journey.
You do. Embracing a growth mindset can really unlock your full potential
Yeah.
and make language learning an amazing experience.
Okay, before we move on, what's one key takeaway about mindset?
I would say the most important thing is to believe in yourself
Okay.
and your ability to learn. Don't let self-doubt or fear hold you back.
Yeah.
Embrace the challenges, celebrate your progress, and trust that with dedication
Yeah.
and a positive attitude, you can achieve your goals.
It's so true. Having that belief in yourself can make all the difference. That's so important. I want to switch gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about something we touched on earlier, pronunciation.
Okay.
It's often a big challenge
It is.
for people learning English.
Right.
But babies,
They just get it.
they seem to pick it up so easily.
I know. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's because they're not afraid to experiment
Okay,
with sounds and just copy what they hear.
that makes sense. So how can we as adults who maybe feel a little self-conscious
Right.
improve our pronunciation and sound more natural?
Well, I think the first step, and this might sound really simple,
Okay.
is to really pay attention to the sounds of English.
Okay.
Not just the letters,
Right.
but the actual sounds that make up the words.
Yeah. How do we do that?
You're training your ear to the nuances of the language.
Got it. Any specific tips for that?
Oh, there are some great tools out there.
Okay. Like what?
Phonetic charts can be really helpful. Okay.
They show you how the sounds are made.
Cool.
You can use pronunciation dictionaries
Okay.
to hear examples of words and sounds.
Love
And of
that.
course, listening to recordings of native speakers,
Okay.
podcasts, audiobooks, even just conversations
Right.
can really train your ear.
So it's about immersing yourself in those sounds.
Yes, even passively to start with.
Okay, then how do we actively practice?
One of the best things you can do is listen to a native speaker.
Okay.
Really focus on how they're making those sounds
Right.
and then try to imitate them.
Okay.
You can even record yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's what they said in the video.
Exactly.
And compare it.
It can be so helpful to hear yourself objectively
It is.
and identify areas you need to work on.
Yeah, it's like having another set of ears.
Right. Another technique is to break down words
Okay.
into their individual sounds and practice each one separately.
Oh, interesting. So like practicing scales on the piano
Exactly.
before you play a song.
You got it.
Master those building blocks.
Mhm.
Yes, and don't be afraid to exaggerate the sounds at first.
Okay.
It might feel silly,
Yeah.
but it can really help.
Got it.
Think of it as a workout for your tongue.
I like that. So we've talked about becoming aware of the sounds,
Right.
mimicking native speakers, and breaking words down.
Yeah.
Anything else about pronunciation?
Well, stress and intonation are also super important.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed that.
Stress is emphasizing certain syllables in a word,
Okay.
and intonation is the melody of your voice as you speak.
Right. It's how your voice rises and falls.
Exactly.
Native speakers use it to change the meaning
Oh, absolutely.
and convey emotion.
You're right.
Like that word present,
Oh, perfect example.
depending on how you say it.
Yeah.
It can be a noun or a verb.
It's amazing, right, how those
Mhm.
subtle changes can make such a big difference.
It is. So how can we practice stress and intonation?
Well, listening to native speakers is key.
Okay.
Pay attention to how they emphasize certain syllables
Right.
and how their pitch changes. And there's some great resources specifically designed to teach this.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So it's about training your ear
Yeah,
and your voice to create that natural rhythm of English.
you got it.
Any last thoughts on pronunciation?
Just remember, it takes time and effort.
Yeah, it does.
It's a journey. Don't get discouraged if you don't sound perfect right away.
It's a process, just like any other part of language learning.
Exactly. Keep practicing. Keep experimenting.
Yeah.
Keep challenging yourself.
And celebrate those small wins.
The more you immerse yourself in the sounds,
Yeah.
the better you'll get.
I like that, we've talked about the technical side of things,
Right.
but your notes also talk about the emotional side
Oh, yeah, that's so important.
of learning a new language.
Yeah, it's something people don't always talk about,
Right.
but it's crucial.
It is. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, language learning isn't just about knowledge.
Yeah.
It's about confidence, overcoming fears,
Right.
and insecurity stepping outside your comfort zone.
It's about being vulnerable.
It is. It can be a really vulnerable experience.
It can. So how can we navigate those ups and downs
Okay.
and stay motivated?
Self-compassion is key.
Okay.
Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge your efforts. Celebrate your achievements.
Right.
No matter how small they seem.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself.
Exactly. And don't compare yourself to others.
It's your journey.
It is focus on your progress.
Okay.
Celebrate your wins.
And make it fun.
Oh, absolutely. If it feels like a chore,
Yeah.
you're not going to stick with it.
So find those things that make you excited about learning.
Exactly. What are you naturally drawn to?
Yeah.
What are your hobbies, your passions?
Right.
Can you bring English into those?
Like if you love movies,
Watch them in English.
if you love music,
Listen to English songs.
it's about finding those natural connections.
Yeah. Weaving English into your life.
Get creative.
Oh, for sure.
Start a blog. Join a conversation group. Even just talk to yourself in English.
The more you use the language, the more motivated you'll be.
I love it. We've covered so much.
But how?
Those baby-inspired tips,
Right.
realistic goals, finding the right resources.
Embracing mistakes.
The
Consistency.
mindset pronunciation.
Wow.
Cultural immersion. It's been a fantastic deep dive.
It has what a journey.
And I think the biggest takeaway
What is it?
is that language learning is about so much more
Yeah.
than just your brain.
It's holistic.
It's about your body, your emotions, your spirit,
It's about immersing yourself fully.
in the sounds, the rhythms, the culture, the people,
It's about opening yourself up.
to new experiences.
New perspectives, new ways of thinking.
It's transformative.
It really is.
Now, before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I have one last question for you.
Okay, shoot.
Something I've always wondered about.
What's that?
Why are babies so good at learning languages?
That's a great question, and it's something that researchers have been studying for ages.
So what have they found?
Well, there are a few theories. One is that babies' brains are just more flexible than adult brains.
More adaptable.
Exactly.
Okay.
They can form new connections more easily.
Right. So they pick up language faster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their brains are practically made for it.
So their brains are like super sponges, just soaking it all up.
I love that analogy.
Another theory is that babies are just naturally driven to learn language.
Yeah, they know instinctively that language is their key to survival.
Right.
To communicate their needs, connect with their caregivers,
Makes sense.
explore their world.
So it's like their passport to understanding.
It is, and that drive to communicate
Yeah.
fuels their determination.
Right. They really want to learn.
They're paying close attention, experimenting with sounds and words.
Right.
They're not afraid of making mistakes.
It's like they're little scientists testing things out.
I love that. And while we might not have those same advantages,
Right.
we can still learn from their approach.
Yeah. How so?
Embrace their curiosity, their fearlessness, their joy in experimentation.
I like that.
And we can unlock our own language learning potential.
So as we finish this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's all try to channel our inner baby
Yes.
and approach learning with a sense of wonder,
Yeah.
playfulness, and a willingness to make mistakes.
I love it.
And remember, the journey is a marathon, not a sprint.
Be patient.
Be persistent.
Enjoy the ride.
There's a whole world out there waiting to be explored.
There is.
It's been a pleasure diving into this with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
I hope our listeners feel ready to continue their language journey
Love you.
with renewed energy and confidence.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey,
Yeah.
you can do this. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And never stop exploring the world of language.
That's a perfect way to end it. Happy learning, everyone.